Good evening, Monday Night Football fans. It's the ILFL Soccer Night Show with me, David Joseph, here to bring you all the stats, facts, fixtures and results from 2 weeks of football that we've had here in ILFL Footyland. Yes, we haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but we're back and we've got a lot to run through. Just me and Shaquille Mia in the studio this evening to run through everything. We'll look forward to his punditry in a little while, and I'm going to flip everything on its head this evening. We're going to start with the Veterans League because we've got a little bit to talk about there. Shaq, not being a vet, will give his best input that he can. Nanu, Rash and all the boys are away here and they're doing what they've got to do, but they'll be back next week because we've got a packed show for you next week, and I'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. But first, I have to start with the Veterans League because things are hotting up on a cold Thursday night down at Mabley Green. I'm going to run through some of the results from last week for you first. So here on your screen now are the Premier Division scores from last week. Here we are. The London Tigers, this was a big game between London Tigers and Beaumont, and the Tigers beat Beaumont by 2-0 because they know that everybody's breathing down their neck. St Catherine's and Aberhanie aren't any one of those teams breathing down the neck, but that's a respectable result for St Catherine's because they couldn't buy a point or a goal, and that seems to have stemmed the flow. 0-0 against Aberhanie. This was the game that meant something as well for those chasing the leaders at the top. The Weavers Vets beating the Stetley Legends by 2-0 to hang on to their slim chance of winning that division. In the first division, Hawk and Eagle, again, they look like they're stabilising. They look like they could be a better team coming next time around in the next season. 0-0 against the Revived Legends, who seem to be also rounds as well in that division. FC Bondu, they managed to get a win over the Riverside Vets, 2-1, but it's too little too late, I figure, in that division. The Tower Hamlets Vets as well for them. They beat Bromley by 2-0, and they won't be happy with that down in that Bromley corner of East London. Tower Hamlets, well done to you for getting the result. That means something to you. So what does that all mean? I'll tell you in a little while after we've seen the second division results, which show that City Vets drew 1-1 with the Beaumont Masters B. Workhouse doing what they do. They got themselves a slim win over the Sire Vets, and ELS also beating the Reserves by 2-1. So here we are, the tables, as I'm going to show you. Tigers now, 9 games, 22 points. There was a time where we were wondering, is it all over for the Tigers? Are they stuttering? Are they stalling? Doesn't look like it. They have established themselves at the top of the division. Sire Vets, who didn't play last week, are behind them with a game in hand, but there's a 7-point deficit. And then comes Beaumont Weavers. They're the only teams with team points, double figures for those teams in the Premier Division. Into the first, well, you know what, we have to look beyond Mohammedan, it seems, because Mohammedan are top of the table and gone clear, 10 points clear, in fact. Bromley, Hawk and Eagle, Tower Hamlets Vets, they're the next best 3, a point separating those 3 teams, and it's about who can finish runners-up in that division. It's all very, very tight, all the way down to Bondu in 6th place. And in the second division, Workhouse are still top. ELS are 4 points behind them in 2nd place, but they're going to be chasing hard because, like we said, that's a long, hard season there in the 2nd division. I'm going to turn my attention to you, Shets. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I haven't seen you for a little while.
Yeah, I haven't seen you, how are you?
But here we are. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the Vets. We won't touch too much on some of the results because it's a little bit hit and miss. Tigers are top, so let's just run through that very quickly. Tigers are top. Are they there to stay?
Yeah, I believe so. We always doubt them. Can another team catch them up? But you know what? They don't surprise me at all. We can always doubt them, but at the end of the day, we all know
they do what the Tigers do. And in the second division, Mohammedan as well are running away with it. But I remember, you know, sometimes we speak briefly about Bromley because I know you have the Bromley connections. Are they kicking themselves? This is another season missed for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that loss was really a bad result for them because if they wanted to win the league, that game was the one for them. It was a key. It was a very key one. Now, what they can do is the best is finish runners up, and that's what they have to do now. They have to focus, regroup, and try and finish second.
And into the second division, the Workhouse Vets, they're still there. ELS. I won't talk too much about the second division, but in general, are we looking forward to the Cup? Because the Cup draw is going to take place. This, I should tell you, the Cup draw for the Veterans League is going to take place live on the show here next week. And when we see second division teams mixing it up with the boys in the first division and in the Prem, we're looking at a few shocks and surprises, aren't we?
No, it'll be exciting times, especially for second division. Well, we spoke about workouts a few weeks ago and how excited they are. They want to draw with the big boys, if you like, the Premiership sides. So yeah, it'll be a very interesting draw, and I hope the second division can play their first division.
Let's not overlook the fact that Mohammedan are running away with it at the top of the first division. Yeah. Are they a Premier Division side as Vets League is concerned? No, in my opinion,
they've got a lot of work to do. You know, second division is hard, but first Premiership is even hard. So if they do win, it looks like they would have to regroup and strengthen their team to stay in the Premiership division, because it's not an easy league.
Like I said, the Vets League Cup tournament the draw is going to be taking place here live on the show next week. We'll have a full complement of people up here on the stage wanting to put their hands into the bag and draw your team out to see who you are matched up with. This week, as far as we're concerned, there are only a few games to kind of tie up the loose ends and see where everybody's standings are in the tables, because teams will be seeded in the Prem and in the first and second division, where they'll come in a separate format. It'll all be explained to you next week. But here are the games now that are going to take place next week. Here, the Premier Division games are as follows. Abahani will take on the Weavers Vets. There you can see on the screen now. Sire will take on Stepney. Again, a big game for Stepney and Sire. Is it going to be topsy-turvy? Because if Stepney take the points away from Sire, I think that pretty much takes it away from Sire, trying to take anything away from the Tigers at the top of the table. Into the first division, Bromley. Again, they're all tough games in the first division. You never know who's going to come up. Bromley Bondu is a great game. Revive Legends versus Riverside is a good game. And if Tower Hamlets can find their form, maybe that's the banana skin that everybody else in the first division is looking to trip up Mohammedan. If Mohammedan win that, for me, I think that's it and it's all over. And then into the second division, the Beaumont Masters B take on ELS. Beaumont Masters are going well at the moment in the second division. It'll be keep interested to see what happens on Thursday. Sire Vets B team take on the reserve, and the Workhouse Vets take on the City Vets. And then, like I said, we've got the Vets Cup draw in the house right here next Monday, and then I believe the games will then take place there on the Thursday. All the big guys will be here to explain the whole format to you right there and then. So, what's been happening over the last couple of weeks? Football has still been happening over the marshes each and every Sunday. We've had 2 weeks of games take place. I'm not going to go back and tell you what's happened 2 weeks ago, but I am going to tell you what happened last Sunday. Here on the screen for you are those results. The 3 key results there. And this is amazing. For Premier Division sides, this is really what I need to talk about. Reach Out managed to get a 3-2 win over Bromley, and Shax is going to tell us a little bit more about that game in a little while as he saw that. Look at that, though. Robin Hood Tigers versus Ace. This is a first division game last season. It's now become a Premier Division game, but it never ended up like this. Ace really have stamped their authority in this division and look like they mean business. They've put 11 goals past a Premier Division side. Unheard of, as far as I can tell, in a Premier Division, and we can talk about that. St Catherine's virtually did the same to Hawk and Eagle, putting 9 goals past them, and we've spoke many a time about Hawk and Eagle on this show, and they really, looks like the Premier Division is 2 steps too far for them.
No, they're finding it tough, aren't they? They just can't get results anywhere. Just the defensives are awful. They can't score much goals either. Midfield doesn't seem to be matching up with the defence. They've got a lot of work to do.
This is a big win for St Catherine's. They couldn't get themselves a win in the Premier Division. This will really reignite their confidence, and they can press on from here now.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope so, because a win can boost the confidence up, and you know, you can go to clubs, you can win the games, but then you have to watch out. Sometimes too much confidence might be a negative thing sometimes, and it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone where you can just build it up from, and I hope they can, you know, win or get a draw. Is good enough for you.
I have to say well done to you, Martin. You stepped in a couple of weeks ago to steady the ship, and stop the rot, as they say, and it looks like they're responding to your management skills, so well done to you. Maybe we'll get you in here one night on the to talk about your own skills. I know you're a modest man, but let's see what we can do. Maybe we can get you here. I have to talk about the Bromley Reach Out game just very quickly, because by all accounts, Bromley played really well and were unlucky to lose the game.
Yeah, they were very unfortunate. You know, it's all about taking chances at the end of the day, and Bromley just didn't take the chances, and Reach Out went. Bromley tried to score, Reach Out went to the other side, counter-attack, and scored a goal for them to win the game.
Reach Out doing what they do in that division and looking very good with it. They between them and Ace, it looks like they're the two credible teams in that division. But you know, we won't discount Stepney, who didn't play last Sunday, but will want to have a say, I am sure. Into the first division. Here's what's happening in the first division. Lots of goals again. Stepney B against AMY, and I would have thought that AMY would have sorted themselves out and now looking to bounce back with their season. They went down 6-2 to Stepney. Now, someone from Stepney is going to have to tell me what's going on there, because you guys look like you are struggling, stuttering, stalling at the beginning of the season. Have you signed yourself a new goal scorer? We want to hear the news. You know, social media. Use social media. Get in touch. Let us know what's happened there with Stepney. Arsenal, again, went down by a goal to Redcoat, 3-2. And I have to say, creditable result to Arsenal, but well done to Redcoat. They're looking like they want to win that division. Arsenal, nobody's thumping them, but they're always losing by the odd goal, and they really need to sort it out defensively, and then they can make their mark in that division. The new team there, well, let's not call them a new team, they're now established though. Esprit 4, Burdett 4, high-scoring draw there. Both teams will say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but in the end, you both leaked 4 goals and scored 4 goals. A point is all you get for all of that effort. And so, youth, is this the time now where you're going to quietly come up on the rails? You beat a good both side by 5-2. What does that mean for all the tables? Well, look at that. 5 games in, both Ace and Reach Out have 12 points up there in the Premier Division, but they are the 2 teams that have suffered a defeat each as well. The team still unbeaten in that division is in 3rd place with a game in hand over them, and that's Stepney. Can the old boys of Stepney come and show the youngsters again how it's done, or is this now one stage too far for them? It's all going to get a little bit fascinating, and you know what period is coming up. I love that period over December, January, when things really work themselves out and we can see who really don't need gloves in the cold and can hack it in the winter. Down at the bottom, look at that. London Tigers, 4 games without a win. Unheard of. I'm going to say no more about that because, as Shaq says, you write the Tigers off at your peril. First division, there we go. Redcoat are now top now. PYO took that standing for a while. PYO not playing means that Redcoat, with that narrow victory now, are 3 points clear. But that game in hand over PYO is now the telling one, because when I show you the fixtures to come over the next week, we'll now see there's a key game coming up in that division. So Youth have pushed themselves up. They're 4 points behind. Everybody's concertining up in the first division, and that is a roundup of Vets and your Sunday League football. We're going to delve into it a little bit deeper, put some meat on the bones, and bring it all to you right after this short break. Stick around, see you soon.